Hey guys, this is a recorded match. 1v1 on Lipany against Daimosio. He's playing English. Let's go into caster mode. So, pretty good spawn. Woodline right next to gold. Backstone, which again, not terrible. I mean, it takes a little bit longer for your units to get to battle, but it's generally safer, which is good. And the front two sheep are close by and easy to find. Our opponent has a really close wood line. He's got far stone and far gold. Um, English, one of those civs that raiding is kind of an option. I mean, early. I mean, it'll set them back because they're generally just going for a boom play, but it is very cost. It's dangerous to rush English villagers. And he goes immediately for the deers, which is a little bit interesting. A lot of players don't go immediately for deer. And yeah, it's not a bad play at all. It does take a little bit of time to get there. We're running through the middle here, and he ran around the side, and he's picking up a lot more sheep than we are. Up to 5, and we're at 2. At which point we're starting to head back. We got some sheep here that we're gonna be able to pick up, but we're heading back to start dropping off the sheep because beginners starting sheep finish around 2:30. It's gonna take about a minute to get back. Following our route, which is to go around the bottom and finish this black zone on our side of the map. And he's just picking up his sheep happily. Over here, yeah, he's got 7 villagers on food and this 2 on gold. And his other villagers are rallying on to the sheep right here. So he's definitely going for it's just standard fast age up here. Nothing special, no rushes or anything. Same with us. We were since it's against England, I really wanted to do a kind of a fast feudal, or as quick as like possible. I guess as I can feudal, and from there I wanted to go into I think I wanted to go into 2TC and a little bit of a trade boom. I just kind of want to see how he was going to react before I went for the full trade boom. Then he pulled villagers here from the sheep onto the deer. Again, a little bit of lost time traveling, but it's not a bad move because he's getting a really good harvest rate on deer. And we're running on the back here, picking up more. Unfortunately, we did miss, what is it, 1, 2, 3 sheep here in this dark zone in front of our base. So a little bit unfortunate. We looped around the back fully instead of going to the side there. We would have gotten a little bit more. Our opponent, where is his other scout? I don't know where his other scout went, or where his scout is at. Oh, yeah, he ran around the top there. So he sees us running through. And I want to say, whatever route he took, since he saw us, he's doubling back to make sure there's no sheep there and that we don't pick it up. But now, I guess we'll set the view under here. We're starting to age up. We're tapping up at 4. And going for silver tree. We're just kind of scouting out around up here and just see what we can find. And here we see him on the sheep or on the deer, which knows me, that he's got kind of a pocket eco outside that's raidable. So I was a little bit kind of wishing that I had gotten a little bit more aggressive, but again, against England, against the villagers, it's difficult. It's just typically not worth it. And we have aged up, and we're gonna move our silver tree immediately over to just the far corner, and we're just gonna let him react and see how it goes instead of double producing. And we're waiting for enough wood to start building our building there. It's a little bit messed up in terms of our macro. And he's running around down over here, and he's gonna pick up these sheep that we missed, unfortunately. And he's just tapping up with only one villager on his council hall. So this is a fast castle play, is what it is. And you can tell 800 food, and now he's pulling 6 villagers on the goal, probably going to rally more. So this is a definitely 100% fast castle play. And we weren't expecting it. And we're going to finish scouting out here, and we do see this sheep, which is nice. Fortunately, I think we go north to scout this middle. And again, we're going to miss this one sheep. And he's still finishing up the last of his deer over here. So he's pulling the rest of his villagers up to this next deer patch. It's a good move. 7 deer and lots of food right there. And yeah, you can see that the age up on the council. He doesn't even care that he's... I guess he might have misclicked pulled a villager here because he should be tapping up with 1. Our silver tree is setting up, and we did drop a stable first. So we're going to get our upgrade, and we're going to start producing horsemen to start raiding. Because we know he has pocket eco. His deer patch is nearby, so it shouldn't be too far. You know, it's a reasonable assumption that he's going to jump straight to this other deer. And here we are scouting, and we double producing our horsemen. Yep, again, double production of horsemen. And we're moving out to our deer patch as well. We've got 2 that are fairly close, as well as a berry patch in between. And we do see his scout, and he's kind of checking us out. And he's trying to, I guess, find out what we were doing. And he's ready for castle age at this point. And I think he kind of messed up his micro here. I think he meant to hit up his council hall a little bit earlier with a couple of his villagers. So a little bit of a mistake on his part there. But here we're just about to start raiding. Again, we check this deer patch. It's empty. And then he finally hits feudal age, which I was just like shocked. I was like, this is like super late. So I'm kind of figuring that it's going to be a fast castle kind of a play. And it is. He's dropping his king's palace, but my con is over here, and we see his villagers, and we're kind of blocking his position here. And we're just burning down this mill and free eco while we're building up mass to raid the next one. Probably would have been more damage or more work to attack his other villagers immediately. But again, not in the world. Producing more horsemen. And we are starting to trade a couple of traders up along this line here. And well, I guess I didn't have vision on that deer patch there. Or I was waiting for more horsemen. One or the other, because I could have sworn I'd seen it. Or maybe I was just running around the front to see what our opponent was doing, because it's been such a long time since there was any aggression. We're sending our con over here to clean up this wolf on this trade line. And he's dropped his king palace. At this point he reaches castle age, and I'm definitely out of position in terms of dealing with this. I thought maybe his villagers were getting pulled for a second TC, so I wasn't expecting a castle age play. And this was definitely the proper call, was to attack this here with my horsemen, and I guess was more worried about finding out what he was doing and picking up the second TC. So that's probably why I didn't rotate onto his this other deer patch, unfortunately, because that was definitely the right call. Would have been to hit those deer before he harvested. Because if we had hit it early, he would have lost out of probably like 500 food or so. And killed a couple of villagers. So we're bringing a con over just to clean up this little bit of harass with the wolf. And behind this, since he's aged up to castle, I know that he's almost guaranteed 2 TC. I'm pretty sure I saw the King's Palace. And we're gonna set up with a second TC play as well. And we also went for imp age, for castle age as well. And over here, he's picked up wheelbarrows, getting upgraded, and our horsemen get over here after he's picked up all of his deer. So a little bit unfortunate in terms of timing, but I think we are going to get a couple of villager kills here, which is good. Which is okay in terms of at least getting some damage in. 3-4 villagers is definitely is a good amount of damage here, and that's equalizing our villager count right now, which was ahead. Especially considering that he's been on 2 TC for about a minute, almost 2 minutes now. We're tapping up with 9 villagers in our cruel tie, and we're topping a second TC at the same time. The only issue is right now in terms of our transition into this castle age, and our food eco is suffering pretty bad. We've got these 8 villagers on these deer, and they're kind of slow chewing through this. He sends us 1 spearman and 1 crossbowman, so kind of prematurely sends his army to deal with us, and that's just an easy cleanup for us. He does a good job over here securing this gold with a wall. Honestly, he should have walled here, I feel like. This would have been it's a shorter wall, and you secured 2 golds and the trade. So, I think a little bit of a misspend on his part there. My con was wrapping around the side to get some vision. I thought I was going to send him up and around, so a little bit of downtime there. But we're up to castle now. And again, he's just playing kind of like Farmville at this point. Our villager difference is minimal. It's only 3 villager difference, but there is a slight villager difference. And he looks like, I mean, he's getting infrastructure ready for an army, but he's still just kind of, resources are getting chewed up with upgrades and villagers, so he's not super focused about getting an army out. And we're scouting around. We're trying to find where his next gold is, what his next move is, where his eco is at. Since he did go pocket eco with deer, there's always a good chance of him moving his army out. And he's got his army over here, 5 crossbow, 5 more spears. Since he sees us over here, he's pulling his army back. One plus side is we have super mobile army in terms of our cavalry, so we're able to kind of rotate. And he's pulling villagers, and it's chewing up some wood in terms of repairing this wall, which is nice. And over here we've put a ton of villagers onto wood now. We've got 20 villagers on wood, and we're still rallying villagers on wood, and we're starting to drop our pastures here. And our military infrastructure is pretty much non-existent. We're at 1 stable at this point, so we definitely have to start working on that a little bit. His army came around, so we had to pull back from there. No sense in getting shot on the other side of a wall. Forward towered for vision. He's got a nice little base here. His nice little closed off base, but again, he's been in castle for a while now. He hasn't picked up any relics, so definitely a little bit of a mistake. He's a little bit too turtley for his own good. And which is great news for us. It gave us a big window of opportunity to catch up, and again, the villager difference is minimal. And we're just roaming around, seeing what we can see. We see this outpost, seeing the front of his base, kind of seeing what his army is like. He just got his blacksmith, so he's going to start getting blacksmith upgrades. So you can see he's investing a lot in upgrades and eco, and he hasn't been able to super invest into his army at this point. We do see this tower. He does have a good reaction here. We'll do a little bit of damage, so we're just going to have to fall back. Behind this, we finally pulled a villager, and we're starting to build more eco or military infrastructure. And we built a villager to drop a new uvu, and he's going to drop a prayer tent to start picking up relics. And we're just roaming around, seeing what we could see in terms of pocket ecos. We're just trying to find where his army is at, or where his units are at. He's slowly increasing his army here, so he's up to 25 now, which is good. And yeah, we're just roaming around here, making sure there's nothing up here. We know that there's stone up here. Our Khan is over here, kind of harassing, and we're taking our cav to start burning down over here. Over here, getting up to 2 stables, starting to produce knights. We're building our monk out, or our shaman, and we're starting to drop some archery ranges. So we're finally starting to produce some military infrastructure to be able to deal with him, since he's playing super passive. Luckily, again, this is a really huge window of opportunity for us to be able to drop in infrastructure. Again, he's only got basically, what, 2 barracks, and I think council has like 3 ranges basically. It's either 2.5 or 3 ranges. No, it's definitely 2 ranges. 7-second longbowman. I think a regular longbowman is 15. Crossbowman 11 seconds. And for us, crossbowman 22 seconds. Yeah, so it's basically 2 ranges. So it's working on 4 infrastructure, 4 military infrastructure buildings. So we have 1, 2, 4. Oh, and we went double prayer tent, so we could pick up the relic faster because we were a little bit behind. And I didn't know when he was going to react or how long we had to react. But we got pretty good vision in terms of seeing what is going on in terms of his base. We're kind of patrolling the front here. We got good vision on the side with our Khan. We're still trading along this western side, and we're starting to pull. We're gonna pull some along the west here to get some vision. When we can, we're burning down. Getting some raids in again. Nice, easy little burn down here. It's fairly quick. This small unit of cav. And now he's got 43 army to our 16. He's sitting in a good spot in terms of military. And we're dropping a lot more military infrastructure. So we're going to drop 3 more ranges. And we do have this relic, so we should be using our shamans a little bit better. They're idling some. So we're going to start setting them around to start picking up stuff. We're dropping more pastures. And we're looking like we can hit Imp H here. Since he was kind of sitting in his base and not going super aggressive, and he's been cast for a while, we felt pretty comfortable in being able to go to Imp. And we're just scouting around here. Again, we're getting good vision on the side here. We're going to pull these knights around with the scout and just start burning down. We're getting all this vision on the backside. We know he's setting up his base here basically. We're seeing around the whole side here. Pulling a monk over to get the other relic, as well as I believe I sent another monk. Yeah, there's the other monk to collect. So our first unit of cav is over here burning down, and another small force is over there burning. And I believe he is reacting. Yes, yeah, so he's splitting his army to stop both of them. It's a good move on his part to deal with both of them, and we're just dropping more infrastructure now. Now we're up to 7 stables, and we're going to be 5 ranges, and we're dropping the white stupa, and we're going to drop another blacksmith to make sure we get all of our upgrades in time. Okay, once he shows up, we pull back. I'm going to pull my Khan back to our base. The Krota is sitting back here defensively, just in case he pushes us. And at this point, I think we've gotten a little bit of villager kills, or perhaps he's been idling. Or it might be is because we got the 2 TCs, and we've got the silver tree going. So that's where we've actually been able to catch up and surpass his eco count. Even though he's been on 2 TCs longer than we have. He's doing a good job kind of walling in, expanding his base. But it's super passive, his playstyle. And he most definitely should have been picking up relics. If he had picked up relics immediately, this would be much more in his favor because he could be stacking a lot more gold and denying the relic gold from me. So, but the big thing is now we went fast imp, and because we went imp age, again we're just kind of raiding, pulling his army. While we're raiding there, we're attacking the other side. We're just falling back, but now we're equipped militarily pretty well. 7 stables, 5 ranges. We're getting our elite horseman upgrades, since we do have some horsemen out. and we're just running around, rotating. You know, we built more forces over here to the west, and we got the forces here to the east. So we can kind of double prong harass, and he's kind of pulled his army both ways. He's got a much bigger military force than us at this point, and if he had pushed us, we would have been in a pretty bad situation because we don't really have enough garrison space for all of our villagers or enough armor to deal with all of this. He takes out our monk with these knights, and we do see that, and we see that he's got a bunch of knights out. So we're just kind of figuring what we're gonna do. He's gonna build this wall out here, right when we're pushing forward to raid. Oh yeah, so he's pushing forward these villagers. So we start hitting those villagers, and we're starting to burn down over here on his wood line. So we're able to get a little bit of idle time here, which is good. Do a little bit of damage and we have to fall back. Behind this, his knights are starting to push forward. And when we saw those knights, we started to build a couple of towers. And then here we see that his knights are actually pushing us. Over here we fought back. We're just out of army range. We've idled this wood line, and we're starting to just burn down some houses. And luckily, because we have 5 ranges, we're able to get our elite Mangudai, as well as we've got a good mass out pretty quickly because we have enough infrastructure. Behind this, we're starting to fast build with, well, supposedly fast, but with our guys there are 4 villagers, and over here he's got another army, and you know we're kind of paying attention to the micro over here, and we do lose both of our preliminary cavalry forces because we're microing over there. But the big thing is we also do have 4 relics, and the 5th relic's in kind of no man's land, not on his side of the map anymore, neither on mine. So it's not fully secure, but it's pretty close. We're getting our archery range upgrade. We're getting our relic, our improved tithe barns, so we can start cranking out a lot of resources from there. And you know he's killed a bunch of traders here, and he's surpassed us in terms of our villager count, and we might have idled some of our military as well. We do get to pick up this relic with our shaman, and yeah, he's kind of raiding us, but we're doing okay. You know, we got a lot of military production. We're dropping more ranges, so we're gonna be at 7 ranges. We're gonna have all 5 relics, and we have plenty of forces of Mangudai to kind of hold these night raids. And this is where we see that his whole army is pushing forward. Again, we're dropping a lot of towers here, and I think we have 1 cannon tower, and we're going to start cranking out more. We're getting our YAM network just now, upgrading to elite lancers, and our stone commerce technology is starting to pop out. And we take our the small cavalry force that we have, and we're going to just bring it back to our base. This is too big of an army for us to deal with comfortably. And yeah, he starts pushing us here, and he's burning down our infrastructure. Again, it's not end of the world, but we are getting 3 cannon towers here, which are going to be really big in being able to hold this position here. And we're just kind of harassing here with our cavalry. We're just trying to slow them down from burning down this infrastructure because we're producing knights from here, and we're taking aggro away from our Mangudai, just kind of letting our Mangudai do free harassment here. And he's still in castle as well, still on 5,000 food. So his army, it bought us enough time, you know, sacrificing that cav to keep these stables mostly up. We're still producing our Mangudai, and it bought us time to get our castle or our cannon towers up. Behind this, he's walled this off. He's heading up to more gold. He's mined out his base for gold. And he's moving around. We've also finished our wood over here. We had pulled our villagers from that wood line up to the north. We also wanted to help secure to get vision on these gold mines. Unfortunately, he was mining it right next to us, and we hadn't noticed. But we are successful in pushing back this this attack. We put some villagers over on the gold over here, and somehow or another we dropped the relic, or we stored it down here. Yeah, we stored it down here. Okay, so we're okay. Since we pushed back his army, now his big army's been kind of chewed down. It's only down to 30 troops. Military infrastructure wise, he has not expanded much. I mean, he's got a castle back here to defend his farms, but I mean, the castle can be military infrastructure, but he's probably not using it for that. And this is where we're moving our curl tie up and start setting a forward base. Behind here, I don't think we see. Yeah, we don't see his villagers mining. We're just out of vision. And this is where we take our horsemen to start running around the side to start seeing what we can find here. We knew gold was going to be starting to come pretty scarce for him. And we're still getting our upgrades for our Mangadai. We're still a little bit behind in terms of our damage. The incendiary arrows is definitely going to help us. And over here, yeah, there's this nice little note of gold and stone, and sure enough, he was over here. So, we were just going on a scouting route where we were doing other things, and he kind of pulls all these vills. He's gonna put on the gold, and we were just roaming here with these horsemen, trying to find what we can, but we hadn't committed them to a fight yet. And well, here we bump into a stone wall. We're pulling some of our cav over here, and again, he's doing a good job here of getting this gold as quickly as possible. He's definitely spotted us by this gold, and he's gonna start reacting. I guess we must have seen this, but we didn't notice it, I guess. Armies wise, now we're even, and he's got more eco than us, but again, I'm not super worried about it. We got plenty of traders, we got plenty of gold production, and we're sitting on a good amount of food and gold and wood production at this time. Big thing is we got a lot of infrastructure. And I guess one thing that we didn't re-up on was stables. So we're still sitting on 7 stables. We probably should have got more. We'll try to capture that sacred site with our priest. We're just trying to. We were going to capture that one, but we kind of missed. Misplayed it there. Again, it's hard for him to push our army because he's mostly spearmen and knights, and we're mostly Mangadai at this point. So it's gonna be super hard for him to push us. It's surprising that an English army didn't have longbows. And over here, we drop a tower so we can get vision and just kind of protect these villagers since it is 23 villagers. And he starts sieging us up front here. Military infrastructure again, he still hasn't really invested in it. So if he loses his army, it's gonna be a long time for him to get his troops up. At this point, he's pushed up to imp, and we're just trying to sneak by his army here, get a little bit of harass with our Mangadai, get him to kind of chase us. And we do catch this stone walls getting put down, which is really nice timing. On our part, we get kind of lucky in that sense, and we're able to stop this from coming down. Behind this, we still haven't noticed that there's a gold mine right next to us. Again, kind of bad on our part. And we're just going to pull all of this cav. It's 4 knights and 19 horsemen, but they are elite, which is the plus side, and his knights aren't, they're still castle age knights, so we're fighting that, and we're kind of chewing that away. We have one cannon tower here, and our Mangadai is going to be enough to kind of hold this. He did almost burn down our curl tie, so we do pull that back to start repairing it, and we're starting to invest in some more stables here up front to start producing more units. Behind this, again, we still haven't noticed this gold getting mined. So again, a little bit of tunnel vision, not checking our mini-map properly and seeing the green on the map. Green sometimes can be a little bit hard to note the difference because it blends in with like the forest and stuff like that. And we are kind of busy microing over here, trying to deal with his base. Behind this, we are starting to build a lot more cavalry, and we're focusing on mostly cavalry. We've got 20 units sitting in production right now. Crotai is almost burned down. Again, a little bit of a mistake not repairing that. We pulled it back, but we didn't fix it. Behind this, again, our Mangadai are just kind of dealing with his eco. We idled it a whole bunch. He's up to elite knights, and over here, we look like we finally noticed, and we pulled a bunch of Mangadai over. We've got 7 of them over here, dealing with these villagers on this side, and they're getting a ton of villager kills over here. Over here, we're idling his wood line, and there is kind of like a chop through here, and we get a little bit lucky, otherwise we would have lost probably all those troops, and we were able to sneak through there, and we're able to wipe up most of these villagers here, and we're going to head to the north, where we knew there was also another node. Now that we had finally checked our mini-map and checked things out, and we're sending these knights to start cleaning that mess up over there, and he's done a good job, and he's cleaned up the excursion in his base here. Crotai has been destroyed, so again, kind of a big mistake on my part, not repairing that in a timely manner. Over here, we've pulled these knights, and we're burning down this over here, and we do see the villager migration here. 10, 30 villagers he's pulling. I guess he's dropping a keep over here on this market. Not a bad idea in the sense that he's gonna basically finally deny the trade, but we do have a random cannon tower out here defending our market a little bit from this kind of type of plays. So honestly, well, and all of these villages got taken on by the Mangadai. I almost probably could have just let the cannon tower do all the work. It might have worked, to be honest, but not totally sure. Over here, he's starting to push forward with his army, but he's not paying attention properly. He's left his trebuchets basically unguarded, and we got tons of knights in production, and they're just coming through. He was kind of raiding here, but again, we could just rally our troops here and kind of hold, and we were beginning to drop more production. And I think at that point when he realized the amount of production that we had just up front here, knowing that we already had more production in the back, as well as the denied keep, that he just GG'd. Again, really lucky that he tried to just play a super boom kind of a Farmville type of a situation, and he didn't push out very much, and it gave us an opportunity to kind of take map control. So yeah, just a quick match. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.